Just going to go through the agenda for today. So we're just going to go through the introduction of who we are and what we're going to go over as well. We've got the Dimmi Off Peak, which is something that Ryan's going to be speaking to you a bit later on. It's just a new product that we've recently launched into New South Wales and Western Australia and will be available in the rest of the country within 4 weeks. We've also got a few new features that have recently been added to the Pro Diary. So we've got function inquiries and also table assignments, and Declan's going to go through that with you in a minute too. And I'm just going to go through the Dimmi Dashboard and a few new features that have recently been added to that as well, just to give you a bit of an idea of what you guys can control over your Dimmi listing, and also your reports and your booking reports, things like that too. Cool. Now, just to recap as well, guys, if you have any questions, please pop them into the chat box below. They'll come through to us directly, and we'll be able to answer your questions for everyone, because I'm sure we're all thinking the same things and we all have the same questions. So just pop them into the chat if you could. Thanks. Now, just as an introduction as to who we are, my name is Kian. I'm the Restaurant Relations Manager here at Dimmi. I think maybe a few of you have spoken to me before. If not, it's lovely to meet you. We've got Ryan Colligan, who is our Restaurant Relations Consultant. He's just going to duck in and wave his hand. He looks after the restaurants that we have for Victoria and Tasmania, based out of head office in Sydney. We've also got Declan O'Toole, who is our Integration Specialist.
Hi, folks.
And also looks after New South Wales and ACT venues outside of head office as well. Yeah, so nice to meet you. Very, very pleased that you're all here. Now, Ryan's just going to go through Dimmi Off Peak with you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very, very much for taking the time to spend your morning with us. I'm briefly going to go through a new product that Dimmi is offering, which we're really quite excited about. We're calling it Dimmi Off Peak. It's basically a yield management system. So I'll go into a little bit more information about what a yield management system is and what the idea of the program is. But what I'll do is, to start, I'm going to show you a video from a restaurateur based out of Sydney called Erez Gordon. Erez owns Bishop Cessa, which is a venue based in Surrey Hills, and he's just a little bit of an ambassador for our product. So I'm just going to show this video to you just to start as a brief understanding.
Hi, my name's Erez Gordon. I'm a restaurateur and restaurant consultant. One of the things that restaurants have never done particularly well is manage the yield in their business. There's 100 seats, let's say, in a restaurant, and it's a rare restaurant that's full lunch and dinner every night of the week, which means that you've got seats empty, not making you any money, not earning any dollars, not paying any of your expenses. The airlines and hotels, they sorted this out years ago. They worked out that they need to manage the yield in their business. So if it means selling some airplane seats or some hotel rooms at a discount or in a bundle or in a more creative fashion to get people through the door or to get people on the plane, then they would. Dimmi Off Peak is about yield management. It means that you get the most out of what you have to offer. This is going to be how restaurants are run into the future. Within the Dimmi Off Peak system is the ability to control how many tables you give away, for what promotion, at what value, and what time of day or what time of week. You have complete control, which means that if you want to sell more seats on a Monday, you can. Then you can take that up to 25 or 30, and maybe make sure your restaurant is full. The statistics are really simple. More than 30% of reservations are made in the 24 hours prior to dining. And that's enormous, and that's a big change from how it used to be. This is really important. This is how consumers today utilise mobile apps and things like Dimmi. This is an opportunity to build cash flow, create loyalty, put more bums on seats for no more work. Dimmi does all the work for you. They understand what's going on. They've got the platform. All you have to do is nod your head and say, I want to be involved. Act now. Make sure you're part of the future of restaurants, and Dimmi has given you that opportunity.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about what Erez was speaking about. So the idea of yield management as a concept It's designed to fill quieter periods in your venue, your shoulder times, and your quiet lunches in concept. So obviously we all understand that the 7:30 booking period is obviously the prime time that all guests generally want to book. The idea behind the yield management system is to try and push people to earlier sitting times, so sort of the 5:30, 6 o'clock sitting time, by offering them something that will entice them to take that dining option. Now, we're very, very careful just to really reiterate with this program that we're not looking at it as promotion, because we want it to be an ongoing concept so that they know that if I dine early at venue A Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday at 6 o'clock, that I'm going to get a complimentary beverage on arrival, something to that effect. So we're making sure that when you are approaching us with potential new offers, that it's not a set standard promotion that you may have run in the past, because the diners are quite savvy. They understand that they're going to be looking for something. So if they are going to be taking an earlier time, there needs to be an incentive behind it. So when we're talking about is quite important. So quieter nights, obviously beginning parts of the week for many venues is quite quiet. So that's when we feel they can really be utilised. So the sort of the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights. Shoulder times, however, I think are really, really vital and probably the most important part of the yield management system. It's getting those tables in at 6 p.m. and potentially at say 8:30, 8:45, so that you're not got a bulk neck of 7:30 bookings that are going to obviously take the table for the entire evening. So that way you'd be able to resell it if you've got them in earlier. And then the last one, we obviously suggesting quiet lunches. Quiet lunches are quite obvious, obviously, because you've got the idea of just like a quick dinner, a quick lunch, midweek, maybe for CBD venues, things like that, just to get people in and out, guests that maybe potentially wouldn't have potentially dined for a lunch service. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through how it actually lays out on our website and an example of how we feel it's working quite well. So we've currently rolled out Off-Peak to New South Wales and also Western Australia. We've used both these markets as somewhat of a testing ground. The idea behind it was so that we could monitor it quite closely and we could see where it's been successful and maybe where it's not been as successful. So this example I've got on the screen for you is Steel Bar and Grill, which is based in the CBD of Sydney. Now this has probably been, by the raw numbers we have, and the numbers we have are very raw, is probably the most successful off-peak offer we have currently running. So Steel Bar and Grill offer a complimentary charcuterie platter, and they offer it twice. They offer it at the 12, 12:15 time slot, which you'll see on your screen is indicated by the star. And they also offer it at the 5:30, 6 o'clock period. So they're being quite smart. They're realising that they're going to have an after-office crowd and they're going to want to have a drink after work. Let's give them a complimentary charcuterie platter. That's obviously going to entice them to stay a little bit longer, potentially rolling into dinner for those 6:30 people, and maybe buying more drinks than what they had previously intended. So this is an example of quite a positive off-peak offer. It's been well received by diners, and we've used this as an example of it working properly. So the reason why I've used this one is because I'm quite strong in the belief of being quite specific about your offer. So this is talking about a charcuterie platter. The diner then knows exactly what they're going to get. There's no confusion. If you're just sort of offering a percentage amount discount, it makes it a little harder for the diner to be enticed by that offer. What we've seen and the numbers that we've seen come back is the offers that have been most successful have been very specific to their venue. So another example would be offering a complimentary dessert. There's absolutely nothing wrong with just saying dessert, but what if you specifically target a tiramisu to an Italian restaurant perhaps, that'll be an example of 9 times out of 10, the diner's going to be like, okay, I'm going to get a free tiramisu. Not everyone's going to like tiramisu, but it's going to at least get them through the door. And if you want to, as a venue owner, then be like, I can offer you another dessert instead. That's your choice, obviously. But the whole point is to try and get the diner to click on the offer. So the way that we're doing this is we've got a second screen set up. So the screen that people will see on our website. Now, just so you're all aware, this is a very elementary stage. We're still playing around with the layout and how it's going to read, but this is what we're rolling with at the moment. So you'll see if people are searching by suburb, so once again, we'll work on the presumption of the after work crowd. They work in Surrey Hills in Sydney. They're going to have a look where we can go out for a quick drink or maybe a quick bite to eat after work. They're going to indicate that they want to look at deals with offers, which you'll see on the right-hand side has been ticked, and then the venues that are offering off-peak promotions will appear, and it will appear with what the actual offer is. So ideally, we want them to be clicking on your venue and then reading more about your venue after they've been enticed by the deal. So I'm going to open it up to you guys to see if there's anyone with any questions. I just want to reiterate that this is a free service included in your pro account. So there's really no downside to contemplating doing an off-peak offer. The initial concept was we understand that you guys need to try and fill your tables earlier or fill those quieter times to cover yourself so that when you're in your peak periods, you're not trying to recover costs from earlier in the week. Sorry, Kian.
We just had a question come through. The question was, do we have to commit to a certain time period, like a contract? No, you can actually leave and stop doing off-peak at any time that you want to, really. We do ask that you do commit to, say, 3 months just to actually let the product work for you. But at the same time, you don't have to do it for any longer than you really want to. It's just, we expect it to be a snowball sort of effect. At first, we don't expect that there to be massive amounts of numbers and covers to come through, but it's something that we're educating the diners on and why they'd like to book on those earlier days or earlier time slots as well.
Just another question here. Can you have one offer for lunch and another for evenings? So absolutely, you guys can control it whichever way you like. We feel that you can have as many offers as you like, but the idea behind having too many offers then sort of detracts away from the enticement. So if the idea is that there's one offer and you're only offering it for, say, 5 diners and it's the first 5 diners that book, the reporting coming back is indicating that that's been far more successful than a venue that might have 3 different offers running throughout the week. You don't want to get into a situation where the diner just gets used to you having a promotion or you having an off-peak offer all the time, because then it's probably going to detract from getting higher click rate on your site and on your listing.
We've got another question here. Can I use Dimmi payments / guarantees with this function?
Yes, you can. Once again, that's really quite easily set up from us here in head office. If you're wanting to do anything like that, just email through to support if you're interested, or contact your restaurant consultant either based in head office or in the field, and we will organise it from that end. It's a pretty simple process. Like I'm explaining, it's not really requiring too much from you guys. We think we're going to be able to approach it with some good ideas in terms of a way to creatively market it or word it, so that you're not just saying 30% off main meal. We're wanting to make it seem a little bit more enticing. And payments are is definitely something that can happen, that feature. Any further questions?
We've got another question. How will diners see the difference between off-peak and a normal promotion on my listing?
Okay. So in that screen that we went back to, we'll just back that up. So you'll see here that the off-peak promotion is the orange with a white star in the middle. That is how an off-peak promotion will appear, and it will only appear when a diner is searching in a suburb or a particular venue. A promotion, however, will only show up when they're already on that particular venue. So the reason why they're going to appear a little different is because we're trying to direct people that maybe don't know where they want to go and they're going to be enticed by an offer, as opposed to actually already going to a website, already knowing where they want to dine and then seeing a promotion loaded. Any further questions, or we can pass you along to Declan? Beautiful. Thank you all for your time.
Oh, sorry, we've just got one more question. We've had a question come through asking if diners will earn Dimmi points for these bookings.
They do, so it runs exactly the same. So the only thing that you have to be aware about is that all off-peak promotions are only bookable through the Dimmi website. It is forcing people to book through our channel, so obviously with that comes the ability to earn points as well. Beautiful. I'll pass you to Declan. Thank you all for your time.
Hi there. So I'm going to be talking to you about function enquiries. This is released to the diary quite recently. and it's a great way of staying on top of function inquiries that are coming through to you. So I'll just skip from this to Res Diary. So this is my own demo account, and you can see here an icon that represents a function inquiries. So not every diary has this at the moment. If this is something you're interested in, you'll need to talk to your restaurant consultant or contact us here at support, and we'll be able to get this set up for you. There's just a little bit of background setup to do, so if you need it, just let us know. So when I click on the function inquiries, it'll bring me to my function inquiries list. So this is a list of inquiries that have been made for all of these dates. We can see they each have a unique reference number. So this reference number is much like the booking ID for a normal reservation, except all of these ones will begin with F. So you'll know immediately when you see this reference number that it is belong to a function. The listing is done by the day that the function inquiry was created, or you can change it to the date that it's going to be held on. So we can see here that Decimal Tool has a function inquiry for the 17th of June. If we want, we can click to edit that, and we can see all the information that is needed. I'll show you how to create one initially, so you can see how we got to that. So if we click Create, it's just like making a normal reservation, except obviously it's not confirmed, it's just an inquiry at this stage. So we'll select the 20 seconds, we'll select a time, and we'll select an area rather than selecting a table in the restaurant. And we'll enter in the amount of people that this is for. So they said that it was going to be 67 people, and for groups of 6 or more on my system, I've required banquet menu and credit card details, so that's something that we'll have to look after as well. I can add in any inquiry notes that I need to, and I can also add in a function sheet URL. So if this is on, if you had a URL for a document on Dropbox or on Google Drive as well, you can add it in from here. So it's constantly updatable. It's not like a PDF where it would be a stagnant document. You can always keep it updated through this. So when we click on contact details, this will pull from your own database. So if I search for Declan, I'll see that he was a past diner, and I can add in his information automatically, and then I can just click Save. So that's created the function inquiry for me. You can see it there. And if we wanted to seat that, we simply go over to Seat once everything has been confirmed, and we can click on that. If I want to edit it again, I can open it from there, or I can simply remove and cancel it. So I'll seat this inquiry, and once I do, it will let me know that payment is due for that particular reservation because there was a credit card requirement. This will also let you know that if there is a reservation in that particular area, that the reservation will become unallocated. So depending on the settings of your particular diary, it could be unallocated and moved to the next best available table, or it could be just sent to that unallocated list. Either way, it will let you know. When you make a function inquiry and when one is confirmed, it will act the same kind of way as a booking. It will send the guest a confirmation email. It will send them an email to let them know that the inquiry has been lodged, and also there's cancellation emails, and they're entirely you can personalize those as well, the same way you can personalize your booking confirmation email. So I'll just go to the diary, and I'll show you where one has been entered in. Sorry now. So that was for the 22nd. And that was for the bar area. So you can see that my reservation for 67 people went through to the bar area, and you can see the red bag there to indicate that there is still a payment required on that. So let's pop back to the presentation. And is there any questions on that? Sorry, one moment, just looking through the questions. Sorry, there's a question there from Paul. Does the inquiry show in the diary when it is not confirmed? It doesn't show in the diary, it'll just show you on that functional inquiries list. So if it's unconfirmed, it'll remain on the list. It's something that you'll need to keep control of and know that it's there. As the functions approach, you'll need to confirm them, you'll need to keep them updated. I can see there's another question here. Will function inquiries automatically get entered into the diary like a normal booking when they come through, or do we have to enter them manually? So at this point, it is something that you will be entering in manually. They'll come through as they normally do through your widget or via email or phone. You will have to enter them in manually. There is an integration on its way. It's still in the early stages of testing, but hopefully we will have it up and running shortly, and we'll let you all know exactly when that's available. Another question here, can we only assign the function to areas or to table joins as well? So you can assign it to areas only. So if there was a particular join that you had in place that could accommodate a very large function, like an upper bar area or something, we can always create that to be an extra area that is only available to you to book internally and for functions. Can we load function offers and menus for them to choose from? So that is something that we'd have to incorporate with your promotions. So when you're interacting with the guests and you're telling them what menus are available, you can select exactly what promotion and what menu they would like according to the promotions that have already been loaded into your diary. Can this show in another color so not to overlap bookings? So it will never overlap a booking, it will misplace a booking. So if in that example that I used in the bar, if there had been a reservation in that area, it would unallocate that reservation and bring it to the next available table, either that or it would unallocate it and leave it on the unallocations list. If there's any more questions, do keep sending them through. How does this integrate with the current large group inquiry? So this doesn't integrate just yet. We are working on another integration for this that will be available shortly, but at the moment this is the manual process. If there's any more questions, do send them through.
Just another one here. Can we rank areas the same ways that we rank tables in the diary?
At the moment, there is no way of ranking the areas. Because this is a manual process, the system will trust that you know best. So it's not going to automatically assign an area. That's something that you'll have to choose yourself. So you'll know yourself where the best function space is for that particular group. All right, any other questions? All right, we're going to move on to assigning servers. So this is a new function that's available as well. It's best for restaurants who work mainly from the table plan. So if you're a host or a manager, it's a really great function to have available to you to simply know exactly what server is looking after what table at any particular time. So I'll just go back to today's date and we'll have a look at, this is just the normal table plan, and if we click on the icon here to the left, this is manage servers. So these are servers that I've already loaded into the diary. So there they are on the right hand side, and we can choose to assign these to whatever table we want. So Declan is going to be assigned to restaurant 1, so these are tables 1, 2 and 3, and he'll appear across those. And I'll assign Kian to the restaurant 3, and she has those tables. Now, so as the evening progresses, they'll each have their own tables to look after and their own customers. We can see here that Declan has 3 tables, and that's a maximum of 6 covers. Kian has 4 tables, that's a maximum of 10. If we click on the statistics, we can see that Declan currently has 1 booking with 2 covers, and they have yet to arrive. In the average seating time here, we can see how quickly Declan, on average, can get a guest in, serve them, and have the bill paid and have the table released for the next reservation. So we can see the average seating time by the server and see how quickly they can maneuver through the restaurant. So this is a great function available for hosts and managers especially, so they can best see how to operate the floor at any particular time for any service. If you would like to add these in, I'll show you quickly. So you go to Settings up at the top right hand corner, scroll down to your Table Plan Editor. From here, you first have to enter in your sections. So the sections that I've already created are Restaurant 1, 2, 3, and the couch area. So I'll enter in another one, Restaurant 4. It's in my normal segment, and I'll select what tables I want to assign. So these ones have already been used. They're in existing segments here, so this actually won't save. But I'll just show you Restaurant 2, so you can see the tables that have been selected for this particular area. So once you have created your sections, you then can create your servers. So you'll go back to the diary and back to the floor plan, and when you click on the server icon over here to the left to show your servers, you can scroll down and you can add a new server. So John Test, you can pick a new color you'd like for him and assign him to whatever area you would like. So John is now looking after the couch area down here. Right, so if you need any assistance in setting this up, you're more than welcome to send an email through to support@dimmi.com.au or talk to your restaurant consultant. They're happy to set this all up for you. If you want more information on how to operate the table plan and how to best use this function, we can send you through a video of our the last webinar we done, where Kian went through it all in great detail, and you'll be able to pick it up from there. If you have any questions, do let me know, and I'll be happy to go through it with you.
I've just got a question here. Just one moment, sorry. Can we add or remove tables to the sections throughout the service?
Yeah, it's you can constantly move around tables and servers depending on what the need is for that particular day. I know that it can change greatly according to demand, so that's why it was left very open and very flexible to be able to change it. Any other questions there? Does the tables in the sections have to be in the same area? No, they don't have to be in the same area. You can select whatever tables to cover for any particular server. It doesn't have to be in the area that's listed on the grid, for instance. So it can be across multiple areas. Anything else coming through there?
Got one more question here. Who is this feature with the servers good for? Like, is it good for the managers or the hosts?
Yeah, it would be best used for, say, the host who's operating the floor on the particular during the service. So if they need to communicate something with the wait staff, they'll know exactly who to go to. If they need to know what table is at what status, they can talk to whatever waiter that they'll be able to see from the floor plan. So it's a great way of structuring who needs to be where in the restaurant. It's a great function to have, especially as a manager, if at the start of the night you want to assign tables to certain people to make sure that those tables are utilised to their full capacity. Anything else coming through? No. I'll pass you over to Kian now, who will discuss the dashboard.
Hi, I don't need access to the diary or anything, so I'm just going to pop us back into the presentation. Just give it a second to load. Cool. So about a year ago, we released a new product called the Dimmi Dashboard, which I suppose now no longer is very new. But I figured at the time we did do a bit of a run through and what the different features are and what it can do to help you. But it's probably about time that we run through it again, as there have been some new things that have recently been added as well. And we do have a lot of restaurants that are using it quite effectively, but we do receive a lot of questions on how different fields within the dashboard are useful to you guys. So I'm just going to quickly go through all these different fields within the dashboard, and then also a few different features that can make your life a little easier and give you control back on your listing and the content that's presented there. Cool. So if you haven't already got a Dimmi dashboard, you will need to have it registered. So this isn't something that you have available to you straight away. It's something that we'll have to set you up with. So each person can have a Dimmi dashboard registered to them for any number of restaurants. So if you're a part of a restaurant group in which you have 8 venues, you can have one login for all 8 venues and see all that information in the one place. If you've got one restaurant, you can see all that information for your one restaurant in that one login as well. So it's endless how many restaurants you can have a look at through the dashboard. But if you would like to have yours set up, all you have to do is let us know at support@dimmi.com.au, which is where you're likely to have been sending through any support, images, content, things like that anyway. And once that email has come through to us, we can set this up for you. Now, this little slide here is just to show you what you're going to see as soon as you log into your dashboard. So to log into the dashboard, you need to do that through the dimmi.com.au website. And then once you've logged in, you'll be able to see this page. Now, what you can see here are 8 different blocks here, which will give you access to a bunch of different reports. So the one in the top left-hand corner is your Dimmi score for May. So this restaurant here has a score of 8.9, which is fantastic, by the way. And when you click on that, you'll be able to see the breakdown of what your score was this month, what your score was the month before, and also for the past 12 months. So you can see where your peaks and valleys have come from. And also you'll be able to dive deeper into that, have a look at your reviews and see why that score might have dropped or why that score might have gone up for that particular month. Moving on, you've got your average spend for April and also your total covers for April. So the reason why this says April and the other one says May is because this data comes from 2 different reports. The score report, which you would be receiving on a monthly basis, is run at the beginning of the month, as it gives you all the data from the month prior in terms of your reviews. And the performance report runs in the middle of the month, which is why we don't yet have the data available for May. So you should see come mid-month that this information will then change over once the performance reports have been sent out to you guys. So what we're finding is that a lot of restaurants are receiving their performance score and their booking reports, and that's 3 reports and 3 emails, and they get lost, or they end up in the spam folder of your inbox or something. It's easier for you to find it here all in the one place in the Dimmi dashboard, which makes your life a little bit easier. So by clicking on the average spend for April or the total covers for April, you can see the total amount of either the average spend or the total covers for April and also for the months prior. And like the original block, you'll be able to try and find out why that has either gone up or gone down. Now, for rejected bookings report and also for the network promotions for April, this data at the moment is only presenting a 0 for all restaurants. This is because we do actually have a new opportunities report that will be launched in the next month or so, which we will go over when it is available. It kind of gives you a better idea of where diners haven't been able to make a booking, where diners have been able to make a booking, where you can kind of increase on what you've currently got and where you can kind of optimize what your settings are to allow for more reservations. So in doing that new report, the data for this report here has then been rejigged a little bit, and we didn't want to give you inaccurate information, so we've just dropped that back down to 0, but you should find that information will be available to you soon. Now, with the database size for April, this is one of the most important tools for a restaurant to be using, as your database is a list of all your customers that have booked with you before and are happy and willing to receive information from you in terms of your marketing, your specials, news, events, anything that you've got going on. Now, we try very hard, and we do arrange for your database to grow month on month, either through your booking widget, through the Dimmi website, through our affiliate partners, and also give you guys the tools to be able to increase that internally through your diary. This dial here will be able to show you how much month on month your database has increased in terms of how many customers have been added to that. And now from the bottom row, you've got your reviews for May and also your average booking size for April. So with the reviews for May, it's really, really, really important that this is used properly, because you actually have access to be able to see all your reviews and respond to all those reviews in the one place, rather than finding all those review notifications, finding the write a response button and then responding back to them that way. You can just go straight into here, say a bunch of thank you so much, we really appreciate your feedback, and send them off so that your diners feel like you're engaging with them and you really appreciate the information that they've sent back to you. Now with this, we do only allow responses through the dashboard for the previous month. We don't allow them for the month prior to that, as the diners don't really feel like they're properly being, well, they're not being engaged within the time that they actually sent that review, and it feels a little less genuine. So we have only allowed for the month previous to this through the dashboard, but again, you can still do that through the emails that you have been receiving. Cool. So just move on from this page. Now, I think this is the best part of the dashboard personally. I get really excited about this page. This is where you can go through and update your images, your menus, and the logo that's actually shown on your widget. We receive a lot of cases through to the support email address on a day-to-day basis in regards to images and menus and logos. Now, with the turnaround time on the support email, it's 24 hours. This function here allows you to take that control back, and it gives you the ability to be able to upload your menus, upload your images, upload your logos whenever you want to. They're vetted 3 times a day. So at some point during the day, in less than 6 hours, the guys in the restaurant relations team will go through and make sure that they're appropriate, obviously, that they're relevant, it's high quality images and things like that, because you don't want to be sending little tiny images that aren't going to fit on the screen, things like that. And then they'll be shown on the site straight away. So it kind of gives you the ability to have your content updated when you want your content to be updated, rather than 24 hours later. It also lets you go through and see that you've got your summer menu still listed on the page. You want to put your autumn menu on the page instead, so you just remove your summer menu, put your autumn menu on, and then you guys have the ability to be able to control that whenever you want to. Moving on from there, you've got the configure custom closeout message section. So this is a new feature that was recently added to the dashboard, because a lot of restaurants were asking us if they could have this. Now, obviously, you do have the ability to be able to create a custom closeout message within the diary through periodic closeouts, and this will apply if you regularly close on Mondays for lunch and you want to be able to say, dear guest, we don't accept reservations on Monday as we are closed for lunch. Please make a reservation for Tuesday through to Sunday if you are looking to secure a lunch reservation. Done. And that happens every Monday moving forward forever. Now, in the case that you're actually closed because you're fully booked, all you have to do is go into the diary, close out your lunch, close out your dinner in the standard closeout page, and have this message, if whatever you'd like to have here, show up when that diner is trying to make a reservation. So this example below says, unfortunately, the restaurant is unable to accept your reservation for this date as we are fully booked. Please select another date to secure a reservation. Now, this is really important, because before you'd have a message that just said, the restaurant is unable to take reservations at this date and time. Please contact the restaurant directly on this phone number here. And that would mean that the diners are calling through and they're saying, hey, I want a booking for tonight. And you're saying, well, look, mate, I'm actually fully booked, so I can't take your reservation. And that's just been a waste of time for everybody. So what we've done here is we've created this tool to allow you to say, we're fully booked, please come back tomorrow or the day after or whenever you'd like to do it. And it kind of allows you to communicate with them without actually having to take that phone call and pull you away from your service as well. Cool. And now lastly, you've got the access to your booking report. Now, most of you will be doing this within your diary anyway, but it's just added there for a little bit of extra convenience. You would be receiving a booking report at the end of each month, just to be able to say, this person cancelled, this person no-showed, this person showed up with 4 people instead of 6, just to allow for your billing to be correct. Now, if you lose that email, whatever reason, it exists within your dashboard so that you can also update it there, just to make your life a little bit easier again. So essentially, the dashboard exists to make your life easier. So if you do want to have a dashboard, all you have to do is just let us know, and we will set you up with one straight away. Cool. Do you have any questions at all?
Can I still view reviews older than the past month even if I can't reply to them?
Unfortunately, you can't view the reviews for the past month within the dashboard. It's just to try and keep it all clean and neat and tidy and make sure that you are responding within a month's time, just for the diners' sake that we engage in a more quicker and efficient manner. Any other questions at all?
How many users can have access to the dashboard from each restaurant?
Okay, so if you want to have 20 users from one restaurant, or if you want to have 10 users, you can have literally as many users as you want per dashboard, per restaurant. You can have as many restaurants within the one user as well. It's really up to you guys, because obviously one restaurant will have a restaurant manager, a restaurant owner, an assistant restaurant manager, a marketing director, an IT team, hundreds of people looking after this one restaurant that wants to have a look at all this information. It's up to you guys to have as much as you want. And now I've got a question.
Is there a certain format the file has to be to upload, i.e. menus and images, etc.?
The dashboard does only accept PDFs at this point in terms of menus. For images, you'll need to send them through as JPEGs or PNGs, just because that's the way that it is. It's important that you are uploading your menus as PDFs as well, because they're much more secure in terms of they can't be edited and things like that, so it just works better for the program.
Just another question here as well. Is it quicker to upload menus through the support forum or via dashboard?
Would definitely be quicker to upload your menus through the dashboard, as the support forum is, like I mentioned earlier, a 24-hour turnaround, and you can get your menus and images and everything loaded on the dashboard within 3 to 6 hours, really.
Another question here, can I add a message for a closeout that only applies to a time slot and not a whole service? You can.
Yes, you can. Sorry, that just stumped me a little bit. Yes, you can. So if you were to go through the closeout management console within your diary and you click close out individual time slots, say you want to close out your 7s, your 7:15, your 7:30 because you want to have a double sitting, you could apply that closeout message within the dashboard to say we are only accepting bookings at 6 to 6:30 or 8 to 8:30 tonight. So please book one of those times instead.
And also it's important to note that on the Dimmi website, if the particular time slot is closed out, it won't be offered. So
that message will only show up on the widget.
Exactly.
Yes. Please keep in mind though that if you are applying a custom closeout message within the dashboard, that will apply to all closeouts that you have created within the diary on that particular function. So if you are creating regular closeouts through that section, it's important to go back and check your dashboard to make sure you're not conveying the wrong message. Cool, looks like that is the end of all of our questions. Okay, so we're just going to do a quick summary on what we've gone over. Now we did talk about Dimmi Off Peak at the beginning, and like we've mentioned earlier, it is a product / program that is available across the country as of the 1st of July. For now, it is only available in New South Wales and Western Australia. So if you are looking, or if you are interested in having something loaded, you're still welcome to send everything through to us, either to the support line, which is 1300 337 761, or the support email address, or you just send it straight through to your restaurant consultant. We're happy to take on any ideas or anything that you guys want, regardless of whether or not your state is available next month or this month, because we can start getting the ball rolling anyway. In terms of the new features within the Pro Diary, with function inquiries and the table assignments, if you want a little bit more help on how to set this up, or if you want more information on it, please just contact us. We have a wealth of knowledge at the office here that we're happy to share with you, because the diary is a beautiful thing and we want you all to use it just as well as we do. We've also got the dashboard and the closeout messages. So like I mentioned, the dashboard was something that was rolled out a year ago. We've still got lots of restaurants that aren't using it at the moment, and I think that might just be that you guys aren't aware that it's available to you. So please let us know if you want it, and we will send those invitations out to you straight away. Cool. Now, if you have any questions or any suggestions in terms of what you'd like to be featured at the next webinar, please send them through to us. We're always happy to take on suggestions.